Former House Speaker Kevin McCarthy predicted during a recent interview that Representative Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez will rise in the Democratic ranks and could become the next party leader once the next presidential election cycle rolls around. McCarthy first weighed in on Democratic National Committee Vice Chair David Hogg's group, Leaders We Deserve, $20 million campaign to primary House Democrats in safe seats with the goal of bringing in a younger generation of lawmakers. Unheard of, the DNC is supposed to unite the party, but what we're watching live is a civil war inside the Democratic Party. And they're fighting for new leadership. And this is what's going to happen, McCarthy said during his Friday night appearance on Fox News. Remember, AOC did this exact same thing a couple years ago, and the party tried to shut her down when she could primary other members in Congress. The former lawmaker added, but she raised the most money of any member in Congress in the last quarter. She's getting the biggest crowds. Ocasio-Cortez raised nearly $9.6 million in the first quarter this year, her biggest 3-month fundraising period yet. She enters the second quarter with $8.2 million in cash on hand. The progressive Democrat has taken to hosting large rallies across the country with progressive Senator Bernie Sanders, independent from Vermont, as part of the Fight in the Oligarchy tour. And this is what I predict. They're going to fight to see who becomes the leader of this party right now. It's really AOC and Bernie Sanders, but this is what's going to happen. They're going to run against Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, Representative Nancy Pelosi, Schumer, and Leader Hakeem. That will be a motivating factor. McCarthy argued that progressive Democrats such as Ocasio-Cortez will raise more money running against Democrats than they will run against Republicans, and whoever comes out of that will become the leader of the Democratic Party. The New York Progressive has drawn a lot of buzz lately as questions have arisen about her political ambition for the 2028 election. Ocasio-Cortez is pollster Nate Silver's early pick to be the leader of the party come the next White House election cycle. Well, I guess I can just say this. I was an early defender of AOC back when she first won the seat against Crowley. I thought a lot of the Republican attacks on her were kind of goofy. And I do support the idea of getting rid of Democratic incumbents, not because they're old, because if that were true, we would have, they would have tried to go after Sanders a long time ago for just being caucusing with Democrats, but rather their positions. If they're going to stand in the way of progress, of more health care for people, higher wages, then yeah, get rid of them. But what started to happen over the years is I felt she wasn't really doing much in the way of pushing her message, and certainly during the Biden years, I thought she was really just kind of falling in line. And as I said, she gave the worst speech of the previous year when she sat up on the DNC stage and lied and said that Harris was working tirelessly for a ceasefire. Just total appeasement of this with this Israel issue. But really, I would say it's going to go this way. And maybe this would even warrant a whole separate video. She is going to either sit out Hogg's thing, right, with running against other Democrats, because if you notice, you don't really see her endorsing primary opponents to other Democrats, right, because they're all part of that little big tent. And Hogg's thing is going to either go for a cycle, 2 cycles, and then the Democrats are going to get him out of being the vice chair, which, that's just how it goes. You will fall in line or they'll throw you away. Just ask Tulsi Gabbard. Whereas with AOC, if she runs for president in 2028, which I'm not entirely sure she will, I just can't see a scenario where not only where she wins, but also where she doesn't fall in line. Because what do the progressive Democrats do every time they run in one of these primaries? They lose to I have no qualms about admitting that I think it's rigged in terms of all the Democrats team up against the one, whatever. We can go into that again if we want, but they lose to the more moderate established Democrat, and they tell you to me and this person are friends, or me and this person we have our disagreements, but they're better than the Republicans, so vote for them. So it's like, I can't even believe that there's a version of 2028 with AOC running where I don't see her giving a damn concession speech and telling me to vote for, Gavin Newsom or, Harris or whoever else decides to run and I'm just not excited for that. I'm not excited for any more campaigns of hers besides her primarying Schumer, which I don't even think she would do that. Because I think that has more to do with her not being entirely sure that she could win, and also the fact that Schumer is the Democratic leader in the Senate. If it's hard to get rid of a sitting senator, it's hard to get rid of a party leader. Um, and there's going to be a lot of money that gets funneled to him to keep up, the whole keep one of the Israeli government's best allies in the Senate. So I don't think she's going to be able to win that either. So yeah, the only campaign of hers I'd want to see is a Senate run, which I don't think she'll do. And I think any White House run from her is just going to end with another endorsement of the same old tired, worn out, boring, generic, stand for nothing Democrats that we've seen for the last 20 years. And it's gotten to be, just sport at this point. Oh yeah, this person will be the leader, except they won't actually stand for anything. Yay!